What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news, and we also cover a whole hell of a lot of debates these days. I'm loving these debates. You know it, you love it. Ever since the Joe Biden-Donald Trump presidential debate of 2024, the Democrats have been in absolute free fall. They're in panic mode. They don't know what to do. You got some of these people like, replace Joe now. Like, all the donors are starting to revolt. The White House, they're coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse as to why Joe Biden was fine. Sure, he had a bad debate performance, but he had jet lag. He had a cold, but he went to see his doctor. His doctor said he's just fine, y'all. But before we get into the debate, Joe Biden made another gaffe today, folks.
I remember as a Catholic kid growing up in an area where we didn't like Catholics didn't get. I'm the first president elected statewide in the state of Delaware when I was a kid. Well, you know, I looked at John Kennedy and said, "Well, he got elected. Why can't I get elected?" By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president. I'm proud of the first black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do because together there's nothing. Look, this is the United States of America.
Yeah, so apparently Joe Biden is the first black woman to serve as vice president under the first black president. Just simply amazing. Sorry, Joe, you know, you're getting too old for the position, but that doesn't stop Democrats. It's like they just simply cannot talk bad about Joe and not say anything bad about Donald Trump. Check this out.
I'll phrase it slightly differently. Not is Biden going to be the guy going forward, but in your estimation, as a Democrat, should he be?
Look, first of all, I just love a panel of 4 media people who all have said that both these guys are too old and shouldn't run, but the media is covering this up. Everyone's been talking about this stuff.
I haven't said Trump shouldn't run.
Settle down. I'm in the middle of talking.
I think Anthony's got his fishing rod out there, lads. Be careful.
Settle down.
He's fishing.
Settle down like media. Oh, the media is so...
By the way, that's a Trump technique. The Trump technique is to go Piers, as you know, and then say something outrageous, which you don't know at all.
We're all media... All right. Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys...
Go on, Anthony, go on.
We're all media people. We're all talking about this. The idea that no one's been talking about Joe Biden's age is kind of insane. Fox News is the biggest media organ. I don't know what's going on over there in England, but here Fox News is the biggest media organ on earth as far as we're concerned, and they're all over this every single day. So settle down with this, like, well, we didn't know. Look, both these guys are...
Well, so you're admitting Fox News has been right the entire time.
You had one person in the briefing room asking these questions, Anthony. Everyone else is like...
But let me ask Anthony. Anthony, let me repeat that question I asked you, which is not whether you think Biden will be the nominee going forward, but whether he should be. As a Democrat,
neither one of these guys, I agree with the American people, neither one of these guys should be the nominee for their parties. Piers,
we're not talking
here's
about
what
Trump.
I think here's what might be a better show, is if you let me answer your question. I think that might make a better show.
If what?
So
then answer the actual question.
I have said, and the American people have said over and over again, neither one of these guys should be the nominee for their party.
I'm not asking about Trump.
That's not the question.
I know you're not asking about Trump, but I'm making an inclusive answer.
I'm going to come to Trump.
Over there.
Look, just to be clear, I will come to Trump, I promise you.
I don't want you to come to anyone. I just want to answer my question. Can I do that for a moment?
Yes. Do you think personally, as a Democrat, Biden should be the nominee?
I just love that. He wants to be inclusive. His Trump derangement syndrome won't allow him to not be inclusive. We're not talking about Trump. But by the way, just to get this across that, yeah, that was during the primary, right? You have all these people on the Republican side that, yeah, maybe they wanted somebody new. It wasn't a whole hell of a lot of people because Trump resoundingly, time and time again, overwhelmingly defeated Nikki Haley in that primary contest. We saw that time and time again. As a matter of fact, he got historic numbers in some of those primaries, right? We all saw that. I don't know where this guy gets off trying to say that, oh, Americans don't want neither one of them, right? Like, you poll Democrats and they'll say that. Maybe that's what he's talking about, but we're not asking that question. And no, the American people as a whole do not want Joe Biden. But half of them do want Donald Trump, as a matter of fact. Everybody that's getting behind Donald Trump is now rallying behind Donald Trump, and he has a pretty united front behind him, except for a couple of outliers like your Adam Kinzingers, your Liz Cheneys, these people that aren't really Republicans. They're just rhinos, if you will.
Going forward.
I appreciate you letting me answer the question. Good grief. I can't imagine anyone enjoys listening to this. I don't believe that either one of these guys, inclusive of Joe Biden and inclusive of Donald Trump, wants either of these two guys to be their nominees, but they are. We can engage in the kabuki theater of, well, if they weren't, would that be great?
No, you're not answering my question.
I just did.
No, you did. Because my question is very specific. Let me ask it again. Right? You're a Democrat. Given the state of the polls right now, do you think, as a Democrat, that Biden should be the nominee going forward, or should he be replaced? Never mind whether he will be, which is what you think the probability is. Do you think he should be?
I am in concurrence with the broad majority of the American people that neither one of these candidates should be the candidate.
Why can't you answer the question?
He can't answer the question.
He can't. There's a reason he can't answer the question. He can't answer the question because he's a Democrat.
I'm going to get a Dave Rubin for this.
He's a Democrat first, so he can't answer a question.
Let me get a Dave Rubin because
he's the president with dementia.
In my lengthy career as an interviewer, by the way, when people don't answer the question or answer a completely different one, it normally answers the question for you. It means they don't want to answer it. Dave Rubin, what are you taking from Anthony Weiner's response here to the question?
He can't answer the question because he's a Democrat operative more than a journalist or whatever he's purporting to be in that little box. So he knows that the president has dementia or some other seriously significant cognitive decline. We all know it. We've known it for years. It finally has burst forth because after Thursday night, nobody can deny it, which is why everyone on CNN and Washington Post and New York Times and everything else is freaking out. But the problem that Anthony Weiner and many, I would say, ballpark sane Democrats have, and there's not many of them left because the far left has completely demolished the party. The problem that they're having is they know they've got a guy with dementia who should not be in office, and Kamala is probably worse.
Both parties have that same problem, my dude.
You are going to have to do trickery beyond imagination.
If you look at the polls, the same number of Republicans are. Why is it? Do you think that Nikki Haley gets 30% when she hasn't been on the ballot in 4 months? Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I can answer that one right quick. That's because a lot of Democrats were voting in the Republican primary. We saw that. We got the proof of that. CNN, as a matter of fact, covered that.
Let me say this.
I'm happy to talk about Donald Trump.
You may learn something here. You may learn something. Republicans are happy and chose out of a lot of people running for president our candidate. Stop saying we don't like Donald Trump when we love Donald Trump and he's up in every swing state in America. Why would we not want a guy that's up in every swing state in America? You're insane. You don't know what you're talking about.
If you are unfamiliar with the polls that show that Americans are not happy with the choices they have, then I can't help you with that.
That's not what the poll says. That is not what the poll says.
Let me try to ask a question on Piers Morgan's show.
This is
Piers, can I try to be the host here?
Yeah, let me go to Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin.
Anthony, let's try it this way. I'll take over the host reins for a sec. Piers, if you want to get a coffee.
I'll be my guest.
Yeah.
Anthony, who is more competent, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Well, we've Joe Biden easily. We look. He's done better. Your guy's the only president in Twitter that's lost jobs. Your guy screwed up. Look, the American people have already ruled on this, right? They've already ruled on this. They chose Joe Biden easily. Your guy lost net jobs. The economy
that was 4 years ago. Joe Biden can't complete a full sentence. End of quote.
Can I tell you this whole idea of asking me a question, then I'll listen to the answer. I can't imagine it's helpful. All I'm saying, if you frame the question like that, Democrats win. I hope you phrase the question like that. Who are you better off under? Then you're doing much better. Right now, they're focusing on the competency of Joe Biden. As a tactical matter, I want to focus on what I think the American people.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that is outright laughable to say that Joe Biden is more competent than Donald Trump. And I'm tired of this talking point that Democrats and these people, these zealots, try to use COVID numbers once again. Oh, he lost so many jobs. Yeah, COVID shut down all those jobs. You can't use those numbers, dude. The corporate press does it. The White House does it. Joe Biden does. All these people, they try to use COVID numbers to try to paint Donald Trump in a bad light. That's because they have no other ammunition. Donald Trump was strong on foreign policy. He was strong on domestic policy. He did a very good job for this country. Our economy was booming. We were making money hand over fist. He was getting stuff done, and they try to say, oh, Donald Trump has no accomplishments. Yeah, he didn't have any accomplishments his first 2 years because he was fighting his own Republican Party for the most part because they were in revolt because the American people voted in somebody who's not part of the establishment, and the establishment Republicans couldn't have that, could they? Neither could the Democrats. And then we had a changing of the guards, if you will, in 2018 when Democrats took control of the House. So, of course, he's not going to get anything done after that. But I just love that the only ammunition they have to go after Donald Trump is either stuff he says, right, because he exaggerates a lot. He's one of those people that loves to exaggerate. And do we blame Donald Trump for that? No. We look past the exaggeration. We know the actual numbers. And we're not all children here, so we can actually see, okay, so he exaggerated, blah, blah, blah. It's either that, or they have to use some esoteric BS number that nobody knows and nobody can confirm, right? We had a global pandemic shut the economy down, which no fault of Trump because most of the governors were in charge because he left it to the states. And the governors shut down the states, not Donald Trump, y'all. Yeah, 2 weeks to slow the spread, and that was it. That was it. Nothing. No vax mandates. None of that BS that Joe Biden comes in and tries to do. And then Joe Biden also trying to say, oh, we've got historic job numbers, trying to use the people coming back from COVID as his job numbers. No, I'm sorry. If you have to twist and turn reality to fit your narrative to say that Joe Biden is more competent, no, Joe Biden is not more competent. If they have any accomplishments whatsoever, it's his administration. It's not the man himself. And in Trump's administration, Trump was most definitely in charge. Joe Biden, we can't say the same thing. He's a freaking vegetable, for goodness sakes. Just look at him every single time he talks. The debate proved that. But it's outright laughable for these people to come out and say, oh, yeah, run on competency right here, okay? Yeah, go ahead and run on that, yeah. Donald Trump schools Joe Biden every single day of the week. Now, 4 years ago and 4 years before that, you know, at one point, sure, Joe Biden may have been a competent debater. He may have been a competent leader. But now we're going to get into something that's a little bit crazy, I guess you could say. Check this out.
Let me ask you this. Anthony, let me ask you a question. Are you a betting man?
Too early for me to drink.
Anthony,
right?
are you a betting man?
Yeah.
Anthony.
I'm only a betting man to know that conservatives are going to get their ass kicked in your country, and they're going to get their ass kicked here too.
Well, they're certainly going to get them kicked here. That is without any doubt. But let me ask you, if you were a betting man occasionally, would you accept, say, a $10,000 bet to a charity of your choice that Joe Biden is not the nominee in 2 calendar months?
I still believe, I mean, we're returning to the same question. It's very difficult for him not to be, for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, but I'm challenging that view. Honestly, I'm surprised. When you say it's 95% certain that Biden is going to be the nominee,
about what I would say.
I just think when the mainstream media, which skews heavily liberal, when they turn on a Democrat president, as they've turned on him, it looks to me like the dominoes are all just falling now, hour by hour, day by day.
Well, let me say something that I think all four of us will agree upon. We people who talk about stuff for a living, we love this stuff. This is great. This is a slow summer, and we're having a ball with it. Who's in? Who's out? We have it all the time. We like it. And by the way, this is a reference you won't understand, Piers, but my friends will. This is the backup quarterback scenario.
I know what that means. How dare you? My knowledge of NFL is better than yours.
The president of the United States of America is now the backup quarterback.
Hold on.
Wow.
I'm taking a run
wow.
at you.
No.
Come back to Anthony. Anthony, we come back to you.
Can I respond to that, Piers?
Yeah,
let me just, first of all, what happened in 2020, Democrats chose the moderate on that stage, who then went on to beat Donald Trump. We did that part right. Now we've got an incumbent.
But he hasn't governed as a moderate. He was a puppet. Can I
please? First of all, he has. I can't think of a single thing the squad has gotten done in the last 4 years.
Okay, yeah, once again, these people are freaking brain dead or something. They haven't been paying attention to what's been going on. Joe Biden came in. It was supposed to be a moderate, right? Like, y'all remember, the adults are back in charge, right? We're going to unify the country. And then he comes out, MAGA Republicans this and MAGA Republicans that. Goes extremely hard left, right? Look at Title IX provisions. Just look at those Title IX provisions. That's outright insane. It dissolves the differences between men and women. How much hardcore left can you get? Right? Look at his open freaking borders position. That is not a moderate position. I'm sorry, my dude. You are way off the mark on this. I'm not sure how they can get off saying that, oh, Joe Biden is a freaking moderate. What? Who as a moderate would go after their political rivals with two major indictments against their political rival and then spur on states, two individual states, to go after two more different cases against your political rival, right? We know Matthew Coangelo left the third in line for the Attorney General. He was the Deputy Attorney General and went to the Manhattan District Attorney's office under the District Attorney. He wasn't the District Attorney. He was Assistant District Attorney just to go after Donald Trump. Yeah, that is not a moderate position for Joe Biden to have somebody in his administration do that, right? To go after his political rival. Look at the Afghanistan withdrawal. That was utter insanity. Look at his censorship industrial complex, which we're going to cover that in the next video, right? Going after shutting down his political rivals on social media. That is not a moderate position, my dude. You are way off the freaking mark. But let's finish this thing out.
But let me just finish my thought. Can I please finish my thought? You might find it interesting. So now we're in a situation where we have an incumbent who's shown one thing that's super important to Democrats. He can beat Donald Trump. So people are suggesting, well, let's throw out incumbency. Let's throw out the known quantity. Let's go for unknown quantities who aren't polling so well either. I'm just saying, for practical reasons, this isn't the media protecting or not protecting. I don't understand this. This propensity to talk over me is really not helpful. All I can say is that the notion that there's layers and media this and media that, there are practical four corner reasons why he's going to be on the ballot, and we can come back here in October and confirm that.
Okay, he may be right that, yeah, sure, Joe Biden is going to be on the ballot. He's already pretty much on the ballot. He's won all of his primaries. The Democrat voters have voted. That's who they want. However, I think it's very unfair to Democrat voters when the corporate press and the White House and everybody props up Joe Biden, lies to the American people, says he's fine. Just ignore those cheap fakes from the Republicans, right? Those are just cheap fakes. They're out of context. Now, I'm sorry. You proved yourself to be outright liars on that debate stage Thursday. Not last Thursday, but the Thursday before. It's been over a week now, right? They proved themselves to be outright liars. Joe Biden, those weren't cheap fakes. Yeah, Joe Biden is failing. He's got dementia. He's got some sort of cognitive decline that is forcing him to be unable to do the job. We saw him trying to get off a stage. He can barely move his legs. He had to take it one step at a time. Oh my goodness. The dude can't walk. He fell off his bike, right? He falls upstairs, but we've seen all the gaffes, so I don't need to go over all those gaffes. But Joe Biden is utter failing. Go ahead, run your corpse as a presidential candidate. Go right ahead. The American people are not blind. We're going to continue to see, because there's going to be another debate. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump just challenged Joe Biden to another debate, a no-holds-barred debate, which that's just going to be great. And Joe Biden's there like, yeah, I'm still in it. I'm still going to do it. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, dude. This is setting up the Democrats to really, really lose bad come November. And it's just going to be a bloodbath, if you will, to quote Donald Trump. It is going to be a political bloodbath. They are going to get absolutely trounced, and I am here for it to see it. But I think that's all I got on this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all thought about this debate down in the comment section. Did Anthony Weiner make himself look like a total jackass? Do these people just... Does their Trump derangement syndrome not allow them to see reality for what it is? Let me know what you think down in the comments. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.